let's see this comparison table. There are intake leaders. 1 day, total daily 2.6 liters. Also, exclusion of daily total 2.6 liters. That is just as I said, it's just matched in your body, in and out daily matched. That means water never stored in our body, only in and out daily. So water you drink can influence your health. Okay, now shall we look at aging? Nobody wants any kinds of aging, but in process of time, we are aging. In short, there are three main stages. We are born and grow up and become old. Like if say in the physically oxidation process, dehydration, that means protein damage, also cells damage. That's why let's see this graph. That is when we are young as around 10 years old, the water content in body is the maximum about 70%. But if in process of time, especially if over the 50 ages, also 60 ages, the water content rapidly drop down, depends on the influence of your lifestyle. For example, every day enjoy the more tea and coffee and alcohol, then more than the water, it will be the more reduced. This is not only a water problem, also reduces by also the hormones and the enzyme. Thinking about the fact is hormones and enzyme. This is also protein. One molecule protein of hormones consists with 70,000 pieces of water molecules. That's why if water content to be reduced from your body, also hormones and enzyme followed to be reduced. This is a natural way where we follow our natural function in our body. That's why I'm trying to say you drink more water to prevent, to delay your aging. This chart shows the pattern of chronic diseases causing death. Absolutely, cancer is number one. However, except the cancer problem, number one is the blood, is heart failure, also stroke, causing by the blood pollution. That's why, which means 90-30% is what? Is the blood, plasma, just water. To start with the conclusion, you can prevent these chronic diseases by drinking enough water. This is why my Straits Times interview, I said modern medicine cannot cure patients of these chronic diseases completely, only control. That's why to see this World Health Organization report, they say here of the 56.9 million deaths worldwide in 2006, more than half were due to the top 10 causes. The heart diseases and stroke are the world's biggest killers. That's why my point is what these kinds of chronic diseases comes from the blood pollution, also the lack of water content. That's why you drink more water, you can prevent these kinds of chronic diseases. We can understand through this chart. Now I want to talk to my first topic. Think about the dehydration. On the good side, there are alkaline properties. On the bad, there are acidic drinks that promote dehydration. Let's see the alkaline properties like natural water, the mineral-rich water, the vegetables, vitamins, like that. But the other hand, let's see the dehydrated drinks acidic drinks, just very common in our life. Every day we enjoy the soda, tea, juice, milk, alcohol, also coffee. These kinds of acidic drinks make us dehydration condition in our body. So if you think these drinks same as water, your body dehydrates because the substance contained in drinks increase the blood concentration. So to dilute it, our body pushes them out with water. These microscopes shows us when the acidity of the blood rises, blood cells stick together, causing poor blood flow and circulation. Okay, next, the water exists flowing ratio in its dehydration. Intercellular, let's see the side of this radio is the side of dehydration. In intracellular, 66%. Extracellular, 26%. Vascular, 8%. So from the cell's point of view, this is live or die problem. And it goes through the flowing pattern. These diseases are difficult to cure by drugs, and only the symptom can be relieved or controlled. So, what happens if dehydration continues? Follows these kinds of steps. First, chemical conditions change constantly. Next, complete establishment of a new chemical condition. Next, many structural changes in your body. And next step, changes in the human genome, also autoimmunity. All these kinds of step to step happens inside most of the cells. So finally reach to these kinds of chronic diseases caused by dehydration. For example, allergy problem, childhood obesity problem, asthma, stroke, hypertension, indigestion, type 2 diabetes problem. Now this is very common also in Korea worldwide situation. Also, the other hand, osteoarthritis, also low back pain, also degenerative arthritis, also headache, also coronary heart diseases, also migraine, also coronary thrombosis, like that. These kinds of diseases, we call it chronic diseases. Even modern medicine cannot cure, only control through the inspection, also through some kinds of treatment. That's why my point is what comes from dehydration from your body. Also next, now there are worldwide the coronavirus 19 pandemic situation. So we should think about that. How can we promote the immune power also through the water? The corona antibody has not yet been completed. However, we think about how to improve our own immunity power. That's why my point of view is like that. The viscosity of the blood is a very important measurement. If you are curious about your blood viscosity, you can check the blood viscosity and share rate at the hospital. As you can see, this ratio is normal like that. Share rate is when the systolic 4 times greater than the water, when the diastole 10 times greater than the water. That's why your blood viscosity between the 4 times to the 10 times than the water. But if overall blood viscosity increases when the hydration persists, The result is what happens in your blood. The fighter cell that attacks germs and the virus, body's immune decrease as the movement of fighter cells and the lymphocytes be slows. That's why these kinds of fighter cells, three kinds of the first fighter cell, dendritic cell, macrophage, and natural killer cell, the movement will be very slow. That's why the final, they have to move faster, so operation is not so efficient. So if someone is showing COVID symptoms, means it is a result of fighter cells failure. I can say like that. Okay, this is the second topic. As you can see, we need a balance between acidic and alkaline. However, you must try to drink such kinds of water. Here, the structured water, the basically the pH level is alkaline water, also mineral rich water. That is the critical three kinds of the good water condition. However, on the other hand, we normally, generally, without any attention, just we drink these kinds of distilled water and purified by the RO filter. That means non-mineral water is just acidic water after filtration through the reverse osmosis filter. So, 1,000 liters of water per year, which is not small amount. We drink 10,000 liters of water in 10 years generally. So that the impact is quite large. So I say, design your water like design your lifestyle. That's why you choose your water to promote your health. That is better for you. You can also find through the test result the pH level like that. The green color is just neutral. The light blue is a mild alkaline, and the blue and the dark blue is a strong alkaline the pH level. But in opposite, if the pH the colors appears below green and the yellowish, it means the acidic water condition. Okay, this chart shows the acidic alkaline of organ in our body. Absolutely, in case of our stomach has a strong acidity of digestion. Also shows the ORT level because energy can be obtained by oxidizing process. That's why in case of our ORT with a cell around zero, plus minus between the zero. So, but we are very young, and in case of the baby, the cells ORT level is negative level. However, the most important fact is the body fluids must keep mild alkaline condition. This is the main reason to drink alkaline water. Should be essential also to keep homeostasis. If there are problems, if you do not keep homeostasis normal condition, you will be sick. That is our condition of pH level in our body. This is a capillary blood vessel, about 80% in our body. More than red color means more important organ. This thickness is very thin, so cannot see with the eye, but only can see with a microscope. However, when the blood becomes acidic and sticky, the supply of oxygen and nutrients, also the discharge of water, this waste is acidic waste products are blocked. This can cause normal cells mutation and the cancer cells problem. The medical doctors say cancerous cell. Also, the bioelectricity in our body generated in the cell membrane by the rotation of globular protein. The potassium and the sodium is a critical the mineral ion to generate our bioelectricity power to be attached to both ends like electromagnet of the turbine. So like that, this is a cell's membrane. The water goes in, goes up. Here is the intercellular. Here is the extracellular. This is the lipid is the cell's membrane. That's why here located there are globular protein here. That's why when water passes in and going out, like a water wheel, this globular protein just spinning. This globular protein, the ends, there are potassium and calcium. That's sodium and the potassium attached. That's why when water goes in and going out, they the spinning. That's why it makes the bioelectricity power, like the turbine in the hydro, the electronic dams, and the generation for electricity power. So remember that if you don't drink much water, the bioelectricity boost your body will not be powerful like a hydroelectric dam runs out water and reduces electricity production. Like a water field, if there is a lack of water, how to produce enough electricity you can image easily. Okay, then next chart, I'm talking about the acid is the cause of cancer cells problem. For example, the acidic environment makes cancer cell and the growth rate is scary. Cancer cells can only be detected with a medical inspection after 7 years. Cancer cells do not die, as you know well. Even when the neighboring cell just send a signal, stop growing, but they continue to grow and never die like 007, the James Bond. And escape the one cancer cell go along to other parts when they found an acidic environment because they favorite the acidic environment, they create new tumors there. So we cannot stop the cancer problem if we face the problem. Then. So think about what is the beginning. The beginning was very simple. So keep your body alkaline condition. That is a real medical report. Okay, next slide. I'm talking about the structured water molecules and the protection of cells nucleus. This is my third topic today. Water molecule does not exist alone. All we know that water is just H2O, but this is alone information. This H2O is just only water molecule. This is not water. To become a water, this water molecule should be associated group to group by hydrogen bond, as we call it, cluster. The most common small cluster include the chain and the pentagon shape and the hexagonal structure. A cell nucleus is surrounded by structured water. That's why I just told you why cell contains 70% of the water. The reason why cell nucleus is surrounded by structured water. This theory was introduced for the first time in the world titled Significant Structure Theory of Water in Chemistry, written by my mentor Professor Dr. John and Henry Eyring in the University of Utah. That's why this theory is very famous, just the fundamental water molecule structure and the theory. There are for you remembering, there are three kinds of the water structure: chain structure, pentagon structure, hexagonal structure. In case of hexagonal structure, we call it crystal structure. That's why this model, hexagon water molecules modeled by Dr. Ken Jordan, Department of Chemistry, University of Pittsburgh in USA. So I designed the optimizer and the water device based on the theory how can make it crystallize the water structure for the drinking. Okay, for your better understanding, hydration and the smaller crust are very related. Food and nutrients are hydrated with the three types of water molecule like that. Let's see the picture. There are three kinds of water: free water, semi-bound water, also bound water. Bound water is good because it's crystallized and almost the hexagonal structure. They're surrounded with, for example, the protein in our cell. That's why if you see this photo, normally the water is spread and disorderly, not structured. But it will give us some kinds of energy, for example, like the magnetized energy, like Star Wars, the rifle, the saber, okay? It's cut down each spread the water across the chain, cut down and cut down. Then reassociate again with through the hydrogen bond, just finally becomes a hexagon as a crystal structure. That's why, as you see, smaller and smaller and smaller finally becomes just a crystal structure. Also, in case of tornado energy, kinetic energy as a tornado, also it makes crystal size to the smallest sizes. That's why I invented this kind of through the study. This why this water is very good for health because it hydrates well with the biopolymers. As you can see, the magnetic field can cut water crystal into smaller. Just I told you, this type of water is very easy to be absorbed to our body. Okay, this picture and the slide is very famous because covered in the Nature, the Science magazine. Was the first model. This picture was the first model of cellular water I drew a long time ago when I was a student. It was published later on the World Scientific Journal, Nature cover in 2005. The key is the nucleus as the protein is gel states. Must be gel states because it should not be hard. If hard, the DNA and they cannot move and the multiply, the function is just settled. That's why it should be gel states. To promote the nucleus, the structured water is surrounding it in the three layers. Just you see the picture. The center is a protein, is a gel state. So there are three layers. First A, B, C. Each layer, the water spinning speed is so different. That's why the final layer is surrounded with one protein, one molecule surrounded with 70,000 pieces of the water molecule to shield, to protect from the outside attacks like UV, also the chemical, the alcohol, like that. What is then the cancer cell? Cancer, after all, DNA disease. The medical official statement is what cancer is caused by changes in the DNA inside the cell. So if you can drink these kinds of structured water, like a hexagonal water, it is a blessing for you. I designed the optimizer through this study. So the optimizer create the kinds of water. Okay, the more details, there are the picture of the bDNA. In case of genome, is very equal. But in case of gDNA, already unequal, that means broken. We call it normal to abnormal cell. That's why medical doctor said, what is a cancer cell? Is a abnormal cell, as I explained you just before. Okay, next. Now let's design good water. The power of tap water and good designed water taken directly electron microscope, we call it the SAM. Ordinary water is disorderly, as you can see. In case of the structured water, there are crystal visible, but ordinary water, no crystal visible. However, in the designed water of the right crystal combination, of here you can see the crystal of here. That means it's structured. Which water you should drink, you choose your water, is up to you. So I can say like that, good water that benefits health is my conclusion. Water to be free of contamination. Also, water contains abundant minerals necessary for the human body, the mineral balance. Also, water should be slightly alkaline. Also, water crystal size is small and is highly structured. Also, can remove reactive oxygen species through the negative ORP level. Also, containing high dissolved oxygen concentration. Finally, containing great natural energy. So, the most important thing is to do is what to always keep your body dehydrated. So drink more water for you to promote your health. Okay. So there are two gentlemen as medical doctor. They say like that. The glass of water delivered into your body like this. For example, the speed water reaches parts of your body, brain, 1 minute. Blood, 30 seconds. Skin, 10 minutes. Heart, liver, kidney, 20 minutes. So, studies show that distilled water and the mineral-free water are not helpful for diabetes patients. Also, it is much better to drink mineral-rich water. So, doctors also recommend like that. This is why you should drink water throughout the day. As I already talked to you, water never stored in our body. Only one day they goes in, goes out, just replacement. Here is an important hint for you why we should drink at least 1.5 liters a day. The kidney is the most important organ. So if do not reserve water, we have to live with a water hose in our mouth, 180 liters a day. Amazing about that, how terrible. And when the reabsorption and the circulation 6 times a day, 1.5 liters of water disappear, just disappear. That means lack of 1.0 liters per day in our body. Then your body happen what? Will face the damage, also dehydration problem. So remember, this damage is genetically transmitted to your next generation. So fundamental habit for maintaining health like that, you drink more water so you can self-check body water content using the urine color chart below. You can easily check whether you are drinking water enough or not, like that. If yellowish is normal, light yellowish is very good. But if dark and more dark color means you are faced the big problem to dehydration problem. You are lack of the water content in your body. body. That's why in this case, you drink more water to keep your body condition. So keep in mind that, I repeat again, no other liquid has yet been found to be able to replace the water in our bodies. Okay, now for the final my point of my talk, interestingly, natural gravity water filtration and water purifiers have largely followed this history. You know, the Hippocrates, or the medical, called the father of medicine, and he is the founder of natural filtration, the water. I first developed the natural gravity water purifier based on my what I studied before. So my belief is simple. Water is the most natural substance, so you can activate water by purifying it in the most natural way. Especially what was I doing? I adapt magnetized the field and power into the water when the filtration, because all we know that the globe it has a magnetic power. That's why all the spring water contain the magnetized function and the energy. But now our common water is there are the lack of magnetic power. That's why I adopt and added the magnetic field power into my water with the device. So, through some natural gravity based on the water filtration, the oldest but quite effective filtration system human being has been using is surprising. Just to see the summarize the history here, 4,000 years ago, starts to boil water. 2,500 years ago, Hippocrates invented the filter natural gravity-based filtration system using chlorus as a filter media. Mid of 17th century, first multi-layer filtration system using charcoal, just to still we are using charcoal, was invented. Also, 1954, to sterilize the cholera and the ozone, or chlorine is used. 1940, U.S. Public Health Service created the first standards for drinking water. 1985, natural gravity filtration system. It was my first invention by Dr. Walter King. 1988, natural gravity water purifier certified by Korean authority. Also, 2011, natural gravity filtration system received the official NSF certification in USA. Now, still we are manufacturing, we are enjoying these kinds of natural gravity filtered water with the alkaline condition and a lot of benefits. Okay, this is my final talk, and I'd like to emphasize like that, how much water should we drink? There are at least three kinds of condition. Alkaline water similar to blood density. Second, a safe and clean natural water. Third, mineral-rich water. So daily intake of water equal your body weight times 33 cc. That's why simply we recommend you 8 glasses of water per day you should drink. As final, the World Health Organization say drinking fresh water can reduce the risk of diseases by over 80%. This is my message and to talk. Thank you for being together for 1 hour on today. Congratulations again, you're the Expo Conciencia 2020. Gracias.